It's great to have you on.
Good having you.
Happy that you're here. As we're taping this, full disclosure, we're going to do this on Tuesday. It's going to air on Wednesday. So, keep that in mind here as we look to the trade deadline a week away. Yeah. Do you expect a massive splash? I mean, look, there are plenty of like Tariq Woolens, guys like that, whose names are certainly out there. Do you expect a wow moment from the trade deadline?
I don't. We rarely have them. We sit there and like, okay, maybe some team can get Breece Hall. Well, he just had a great game. So I don't know. We'll see. Look, the big tip is going to be see which guys are inactive on Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, look, if Trey Hendrickson doesn't play on Sunday, I know he's a little nicked up, but maybe that's something that'll tip things for the Bengals. So, but I don't expect. I think there'll be some complementary moves, like how the Rams just made the trade with Tennessee to get a corner.
Yeah, Roger McCreary.
Right. So I think there'll be more of those. Well, there'll be potential starter complementary pieces. I don't know if we're going to see, back in the days, the Aqib Talib type trades. Remember when Atlanta went out and got him and they got the other corner, Bay Area guy, played at the University of Washington.
Oh, Marcus Peters, the Rams. Peters. Yeah, the Rams got those
Marcus
two.
Peters,
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to see things like that.
That was another one of those Rams deals where it's like, then we'll let him go if we need him. If we need to, let him go. We let him go. We get the compensatory pick back. Yep. And a lot of teams obviously think of things that way. That's the 49ers thought of that a couple of years ago when they got Chase Young. Yep. Free player. If we got to give up pick like 105 compensatory pick next year, then so be it. We'll take a free Chase Young. The Hendrickson thing is interesting to me because he got nowhere near the quarterback this past Sunday. Yet at the same time, the Bengals, they're not out of it. No one's out of it realistically in the AFC North because the Steelers are sitting there at 4 wins at the halfway point of the season. So if you – and their defense is awful with him. But if you were to trade Trey Hendrickson, what does that say to your locker room just, a couple of days after a players-only meeting on the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, look, that's telling you that defensively we're losing with him, we can lose without him, or you can say we're playing for the future. It's an interesting thing because I look at a team like the Saints, and I look at a couple teams that need inside linebackers. One, let's start with the 49ers. Like DeMario Davis is like one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL. They've only got one win. They're now going to start Tyler Shough at quarterback. Maybe move him, even though he's part of the institutional fabric of that organization, that city. I don't know, but I mean, I think there will be some teams that may be quasi sellers, move a piece or two, and the Saints look like possibly. I don't have any science on that, but just record wise, contract wise, age wise. See if they get something back for a guy like DeMario Davis, who might not be there next year. He might be in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, they certainly have wide receivers, whether it's Shaheed or Chris Olave, that could draw interest as well. But then again,
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks certainly as well. Brandon Cooks, who by the end of his career will play well for every single team in the National Football League. All 32. Yeah. It's not going to be like, hey, can Aaron Rodgers beat 32? It's can Brandon Cooks have 1,000-yard seasons with all 32, which would be quite an accomplishment. Steve, power rankings are fun. Mm-hmm. They are meant for clicks, obviously. They are meant for debate. But they are also one of those few things in which people actually discuss with their friends on their text threads on Sundays on the couch, or whether they're hanging in bars or airports as well. NFL.com right now, and Eric at home does a great job putting them together, has the Lions at number 1. Our buddy Frank Schwab at Yahoo here has the Chiefs at number 1. After watching Monday Night Football, where even when the Commanders made it interesting a little bit in the first half, it really, you never felt like this game was ever in doubt. Who would you have number 1? And if it isn't Detroit or Kansas City, would it be Indy?
It would be. Right now, mine is the Colts. Now, come week 15, if they're playing the Chiefs, would I feel the same way? I don't know. But right here at kind of the quasi midpoint of the season, I'd say the Colts are 7-1. They've got the best record. They're playing great on both sides of the ball. I mean, the balance on offense with the run game, Daniel Jones. Michael Pittman is looking like an all-pro type of wide receiver. Tyler Warren's looking great at tight end. What about them getting rid of 2 starting offensive linemen and the line playing better? Mm-hmm. And then defensively, I mean, they're coming around. Lou Anarumo might not have been a problem in Cincinnati. I mean, they've got some good talent on that defensive front. We know Zaire Franklin, some of these guys, a linebacker, can play. The Chiefs, boy, I mean, it's hard to kind of go against them, especially the way that Mahomes is sick right now. He may not be the front runner for the MVP, but by the end of the season, he probably will be. And the way they're spreading things out on offense and the way that defense is coming together, I'd probably put them number 2. The Lions are right up there, but I wouldn't put them in the top 2.
Why?
I think
just because you think the other two are better, or
I think the other two are better, and I think defensively they got a couple holes in part because of the injuries in that secondary, and that's the only reason why.
I've seen the Lions in person this year. Have not seen the Chiefs. Have not seen the Colts. The Lions look, Jahmyr Gibbs is playing at another level right now. Truly another level. Amon-Ra is always going to be the guy, and they have the weapons offensively. Jared, if you don't get him off his spot, he is going to kill you. And the secondary, people forget when Terrion Arnold got hurt. He maybe wasn't playing the best football. It was a soft benching when they moved to Meek Robertson outside from the slot. But if they get healthy, I believe in Dan Campbell. Again, it's what does this team do in January? They're on a very short list of teams, for my money, where, okay, it's cool now. The Bills are on that list, certainly. You're good, but I'm not going to judge your season based on October. I'm going to judge your season based on January. That's why these Bills' defensive injuries, now Ed Oliver with the biceps, I feel like we've been down this road with them before. The defense can't stay healthy, and it's going to be Josh Hero ball again once we get to January.
You're 100% right. I mean, what a tough blow for Ed Oliver, because he was having a really good year. He gives that defensive pressure that allows guys like Greg Rousseau on the edge and A.J. Epinesa to make the plays that they made. Their secondary is a tad suspect as well. When I look at teams like that, they're going to have to hang on. And I look at a team like Denver. How scary might they be by the end of the season? I mean, Bo Nix in that offense is starting to come around. Typical kind of Sean Payton pacing for his offense, get better each week. And they look super dangerous right now. Now, again, the Cowboys are the ultimate offensive slump buster. Oof. But, I mean, their defense is as good as it gets with Cooper, Nick Benito, and Talanoa and all these guys. But the way now that Bo Nix is spreading the ball around, R.J. Harvey showed some signs of being a potential stud last week. Again, that was Dallas that they played against. But they're coming around. I think they're going to have something to say about this AFC playoff picture as well.
Yeah, if there's a long list of great games, obviously, coming up in the second half of the season. But if I were to circle 3, it would be both Denver-Kansas City games. I believe one of them on Christmas. And the rematch between the Bills and the Patriots. I saw the Patriots in person this past week. Listen, I came in thinking they're good, and hats off to Vrabel. They have 28 new faces there. He's turned it around quickly. Drake Maye the week before had been Phil Simms in the Super Bowl, good 21-23. But how good are they? Like in terms of Aaron Schatz and his DVOA, they have, and the Browns factored into it because they had 2 wins coming in, and the Dolphins being on the schedule and the Jets being on the schedule, Dolphins twice, second half of the season, all factored in. But the math told you that the Patriots had the easiest schedule, and I hate that phrase, but we use it, the easiest schedule, DVOA metric, in 50 years in the NFL. 50. But the team I saw, that plays sticky coverage with Gonzalez,
right?
God willing he stays healthy. Marcus Jones is a beast in the slot. He just got his new deal. Their D-line, Steve, the interior pressure with Barmore and with Milton Williams, they are real, and Drake Maye is a real MVP.
Oh, yeah. Drake Maye's a real dude. I mean, you could even see that some of his rookie year. When he walked into a room, I did 2 games personally, and he walked into the production meetings with that stuff. And you know what I'm talking about, Andrew? He walks in, there is a certain presence that certain guys have. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, guys like that. And they walk around like, okay, he's the guy you want leading your football team. He had it. But with the way the Patriots have built their team, and more teams are trying to build their teams like that, is so you can't run on them on first down. Mm-hmm. You're in 2nd and 9 all the time. You're in known passing situations where they can do some things defensively. And that defensive front, the way they can stuff teams on first down, is as good as any team in the NFL. They do have to pick up their run game. That's the one issue. That's the one area where they're not there yet. That's not to say they can't get there. But with the weather, the way it changes, and playing that division, they've got to be able to run the ball a little bit better. But otherwise, I mean, Mike Vrabel, what a job he's done. Yeah. Right now, it's been him and Shane Steichen, probably for the coach of the year.
Yeah, Shane Steichen, the connection there, obviously Vrabel gets credit. But the connection there between play callers, Shane Steichen seemingly is in his bag every week.
Yep.
Every week. And then Josh McDaniels, say what you want about him as a head coach, and obviously that story has been written and likely will be written when they tell the story of the Patriots and this whole era that we've covered. But Josh last week as a play caller, especially early in the second half, third quarter, run outside, misdirection, oh my gosh. I mean, he was in his bag, and they unlocked Travion, getting him outside wide and giving him some vision, some chances to get in space. That was his breakout game. Josh McDaniels and Drake Maye is a beautiful marriage. It's the same marriage you see, I think, with Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones.
It wasn't weird because one thing about Josh, and we both know this covering the league for a long time, some quarterbacks can handle him because that is a difficult offense to run. Right? If you see the corner playing here, receiver, you got to break it out, and quarterback, you got to think on your feet. He's breaking it out. He's not hooking it up, on the seam. Like, there's different things you have to do, and the fact that Drake Maye and everyone's picking that up so quickly is allowing Josh to do his thing. And so, salute to everybody in the whole operation, the way they're making it work, because, again, now they're to the point where they can be that chameleon team like the old Tom Brady Patriots, where they can change their offense up week to week.
Absolutely. Talking to Steve Wyche here. I want to get a quick thought because you've done a lot of work with them over the years. You know people there on the Falcons. There are talk about riding a roller coaster with them if you're a Falcons fan. And amazingly, by the way, I sat next to a Falcons fan in Southern California at a bar having dinner last week. I was blown away. No, it's not your son, unless your son is a woman in her 40s.
No.
Yeah, much different. But I was blown away like a Falcons fan outside of Atlanta in Southern California randomly at dinner. But I digress, and that's not a shot, although it kind of is a shot. They're up and down. Like, there are weeks where you're like, oh, my God, Bijan's the best player in football. Or Bijan, I've heard it both ways. And Michael Penix is doing this, and Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and they're all of a sudden unlocked. And then there are weeks you're like, Steve, what is going on here? Please tell me what is going on here.
This is the type of thing, and I know the organization well. I know the owner very well. Now, I'm going to say this first. The one thing he hates more than anything is to be embarrassed. You take a 30-0 loss to Carolina, who I think was winless at the time, and then you come out and you get smoked. What was it, 34-10 or 31-10, whatever, to the Dolphins at home in front of a stadium that by the time the fourth quarter got there, it was all red seats.
If I could say this, because I saw the Dolphins the week before, and Teron Armstead said it, I didn't. They look like in the second half in Cleveland that they did not want to be there week
Correct.
7. So keep that in mind.
Correct. So I'm watching the game. Again, my son's a huge Falcon fan. So we're watching this. And I'm like, what are they doing? I think Bijan Robinson had 5 touches in the first half. We saw what he did against the Buffalo Bills. Give him the ball 25 times in some way, shape, or form, and something special is going to happen. We can talk about Kirk Cousins being in there. We can talk about Michael Penix playing exclusively in the pistol. Give the ball to number 7. Find a way to get the ball in his hands. Shane Steichen's doing that with Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows Jonathan Taylor's getting the football. Find a way to get him the ball. There is so much. I think the inconsistency just kind of goes with the way, whether it's pre-game planning, in-game execution planning, it's all over the place. And you've got this young defense that can only be aggressive or make plays to a point. If your offense is out here giving you, putting you in 3 and outs constantly, you're going to get hit for some plays. Yeah. And that's what happened in those games. But 2 weeks in a row, just not looking functional at all on offense when you've got all the talent in the world. And this is a prime example, Andrew, of talent does not a team make. Mm-hmm. It makes a nice roster on paper, but it doesn't necessarily make a winner. And when you look at that division right now, all Tampa Bay has to not do is fall asleep, and they're going to walk away with the NFC South.
Although that victory that the Buccaneers had over the Saints looked as if everybody was asleep. I mean, if you look at the box score, guys are putting their bodies on the line. It was one of the more boring sleepwalk affairs of the young NFL season. But that kind of speaks to the division. The Bucs just survive and advance, and that is what they did. Okay, last thing, final thought, I promise. This is a bit unfair to you because, we didn't have a meeting and I didn't, sit there and say, hey, Steve, marinate on this a little bit. We did this yesterday on the show, and that is basically, paraphrasing, like surprising headline for the second half. Like we did MVPs and, Coach of the Years and all that nonsense. Everybody does that. But, Steve, look ahead to the second half. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yep.
Give me a surprising headline of the second half of the season.
It would be easy to say the Ravens make a run, so I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to say the Houston Texans end up challenging the Colts for the AFC South.
That means the Colts would have to lose a bunch of games.
They'd have to lose. And in Houston's offense, the way the last 2 weeks are not the last. 2 weeks ago wasn't great, but I think
2 weeks ago was not good.
Was not good, but I think they're starting to. We'll see if they can build. But I just think Houston, because of its defense, if they can get some of these guys healthier on offense. So that's my surprising look at things.
Okay. I like that. That's bold, as they used to say on game day morning. That's bold. That's a bold prediction. And now we need the late, great, our good friend Larry Campbell. We need him popping up from the bottom of the screen as they had that one Sunday many years ago. Just his little head popping up in the corner going, that's bold. Remember?
Great LC drop.
We miss him. May he rest certainly in peace, and we know that he is, and well-dressed, obviously, in the next life. Steve Wyche, love you. Thanks for doing this, man. We should do it again soon.
Let's do it, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Best wishes to Dee and the family, obviously, and have a good second half.